everybody, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's day 10. It's the last day of the WHOOPA CAL, so we're gonna see all these lovely cardigans that you're making fully done. I cannot wait. They're already appearing in my feed over on Insta, in the Facebook group. If you're not there, do come and join us. It's a regular WHOOPA fest. So I am here now sporting my new cardigan, the WHOOPA Cardi, that I just made. Isn't it lovely? But as you can see, it's a bit boxy and it's not hanging loose or anything like the ones in the photos. That is because I still have to do my magical slouchy blocking, which I am going to show you today, as well as how to fasten on the pockets in a very nice, neat way. So it starts like this, and then whoopa! And look at it! Oh my god, isn't it nice? And it grows so much. Now, do you see what I mean about the sleeves length? I absolutely love it. It fits perfectly. It's so snug and just perfect for winter. And I think my accent color here just worked out beautifully. And did you notice, like with the slouchy blocking, also my hair and makeup just magically got way better. So definitely recommend the slouchy blocking. I'm going to show you how to do that today. If you want to just flat block it, then it's just normal. You just lay it down flat. But this really does give it this sleek sort of cozy feel that I love. And yeah, let's get to it. Not before that, just thanks so much everybody for your beautiful comments and all the lovely whoopas in the making. I've had so much fun. It's been really, really just wonderful. So looking forward to seeing a lot more of your cardigans ready. And whoopa, let's go. Okay, time for the last part. Oh my god, I can't believe we're finishing part 10, pockets and blocking. So I have here, I decided last night when I was doing my pockets that I did not need to do the pockets with you, because I already show you, it's just like the gauge swatch, but you just have more stitches. What it is, 13 stitches here across here and 11 rows. So you just do that, and then there's a 5-stitch ribbing. I've also showed you that when we did the cuffs. What I wanted to say about when making these, that, you know, as before, I always take care to chain up quite loosely, and also do that when you're chaining up. And we're going to use the 7mm hook for the ribbing here as well. And so do take care when you're chaining up for the ribbing to do that, not like loose, but, you know, a bit looser than normal. And yeah, and then you do the 17 single crochets over, and plus the 1 chain here at the end, that's 18. Okay, so I went ahead yesterday and put in my first pocket. And so what you want to do, I use the same technique here as I do with the sewing under the sleeves, to try and just have it rather seamless here at the bottom of it, and then you just whip stitch it up here on the sides. The sides are easier, obviously. So you want it to fit, you want it to line up with your fabric right, but there is a small problem with that. That is, the front panel starts here. Oops, I'm gonna go up a bit. So it starts here, you see. So we have on the, when looking down on it, on the left side, then we have this 1 extra row really here that doesn't fit with these. So I just skipped that one when I lined them up. And here on this side, then, you know, it won't, it doesn't, like, it can't be lined up all the way over exactly, but you just have the braids matching what's below, and that's fine. So what is important when putting on your pocket, when sewing it on? First of all, you have to decide where to have it. With the long ones, then it's more of an open question maybe, because you can want them really low or high or whatever. It just depends on where you want your pockets to be. I'm always doing the short version. So what I do on the short version is that I fasten it in the 3rd ripping ridge here from the list. So I count 1, 2, 3 here, like here, 1, 2, 3, and I do it in the 3rd here. And I also leave 3 stitches here at the bottom on and then I fasten it in the fourth. Okay, and so to get a straight line, I think it's helpful. I don't think you can see it very well, but I have done like a thread here with another color, just threading it all the way across here in the fourth stitch so that I know where I'm going. And then you just want to line them up, taking care that you're always having the same stitches here. You know, you put the first one here, and then I counted 12 stitches up here, and I do the same on this side, you know, and then 5 again, 5 here as well, just so that it is lined up, like both sides are at the same spot. I may or may not tuck that up at one time, so now I'm quite meticulous on like putting the stitch markers in, and it's just always helpful. So we're so finishing, oh my god. I am going to turn off the camera and put it on standing, and we continue. Okay, we are going to attach the pockets. And there has been some discussion in the group, people talking about how they do not like to sew. Well, I can't really help very much with that, but if you really don't like to sew, then you can always just skip the pockets. I just left a long tail here at the end, as before, always cheating. Okay, so I've done all my stitch marking here, fastened it where it's supposed to be, so I can more easily do it here on the camera also. So this is the first stitch here. I am going to fasten this one first in the stitch here above, and I will take care to do that on the other side as well, just to get it really anchored here. Whoop, this doesn't start very well, but it's okay. We're getting there. Okay, I am going to be working here into the back loop of the first of the pocket, and then in the front loop here of the ridge that I'm working into. Okay, so I'll have to take out my first stitch marker here. And so I go here into the back loop. Oops, I didn't go into the back. Sorry, wrong stitch there. Okay, I want to go into this one. And actually I'm just gonna go like into this one here because I just want to anchor it here at the beginning. Okay, and so now I go into the back loop here and the front loop, really, like when you're looking at it, the two loops that are lying together. And now, as before, when we're sewing, we don't want it to be too tight because the gauge is not so tight. Okay, I'm on camera here, yes. And now we just go. I don't don't understand why you don't like sewing. It's like, especially when it's just like a whip stitch like this. It's such a lovely thing to do. Yes, I'm talking to you, Carol. And just the same as when you're hooking, just think about how your stitches are laying, sorry, not lying, they're not lying stitches. Okay, here is this. Now we're going over this bit here. It's not as clean cut, but I have my stitch marker in place, so all is good. Okay, here's the next one into that one. I'm gonna do one stitch here in between, actually. Like before, I always prefer doing this from the outside so I can better control how it is looking. This is not one of the things in life that is like one way is correct and others are not. You may find other ways that you think that are better, and you are free to do that. I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay. Back stitch here, front stitch here. On we go. I'm not a big fan of stitch markers usually because I'm a big fudging, winging disaster. But they are, in these cases, really, really handy. And then you just don't have to be counting everything again and again, do you know? Just do it properly at the beginning, count everything, and then you can just sew with, you know, how do you say, ease of mind. No things to worry about in life for not worrying about this as well. Okay, let's see how it's looking. Pretty darn good, I'd say. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, this one is here. I'm just gonna see if everything is lining up. Yes. Just when you're going into the third loop, sort of here, then you have to take care not to go into the small ones. You go into the big ones in between, like when you're crocheting into them. Okay. So I tried to do the design of the pockets so that they would just really sort of blend in with the fabric of the cardigan, because I didn't want them to be like sticking out or anything. But as before, a join is a join. So we just do our best and take care to only give our finished products to people who can appreciate it. Right? Okay, so here I am at the end and I have this big loop here. So what I want to do is I'm first going to fasten it a bit here, and then am I going to do the, yeah, I think I'll do the one whip stitch here, and then I'm also going to do here the little invisible seam in this stitch. Oops. So when we do the invisible seam, then we are coming up of this loop here, and we I should be doing it the other way around because I'm going that way. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay. Swanna. And I hope I'm showing this properly, but I mean, it's you know, it's a bit fiddly maybe, and I'm just doing the best I can, and all anybody can ask of you is to do the same, the best you can. That is all we can do. Okay, I'm going to turn it now a bit so it's easier. Again, it has been so lovely to do this all with the camera in between. It's just a delight. Okay, so now we're here at the border here, and then it will come in handy to have this thread here, so I always know into what stitch I'm going to be fastening. Okay, so we move to the next one. We come up out of the eye of the stitch. We're going to be the fourth stitch from the bottom. In the end, this didn't really work out so well here with my corner stitch here, but I'm sticking to my guns. Okay, so I'm here out of the eye here, and I'm just going to go under the two loops here. It's just the same way we did the invisible join in the under the sleeves. Okay, and I come up in the next one, and then we get this smooth transition here over the bottom of the pockets. So I'm not like doing anything here in between. So like you cannot have tiny little, I don't know, beads in your pockets, but anything like cell phones and keys will be just fine. Okay, here I came up on the next one, and I am going to go under the two here on the corresponding on the top. And back down. back down here and come up in the next one. Now this is not quite as neat as when we do it on the sleeves, but it should do the trick. Okay, up in this one, under the 2 on the pocket. And we are covering the bottom bit of the pocket here with this little invisible stitch always going over. And as before, just take your time. Try to have them matching in gates, etc. Not too tight, not too loose. And we continue like this. Back in here, up in the next one. It's really helpful to have thread this in before. I strongly recommend it. It's the first time I do that, and I will be doing that always now. I am sure of it. Okay, and just sort of try and look at how it's looking. Oh, this is looking lovely. Camouflage. La 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 la. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. On we go. And this way the pocket lines up with the rest of the fabric. And we're just all hunky-dory and happy with ourselves, aren't we? I am, at least. I hope you are too. Down here, come up in the next one. Yep. Am I off camera? Oh. Okay. It sort of feels too short till the end to do it off camera and cut, but yeah, I'll just do it with you. You can just fast forward if you don't want to see me doing the whole way. And back down here and up. I don't know, I love this sewing thing. Like, I just really, 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 really like meticulous finishing. There are so many things in life that we cannot control. You know, and this is just one thing that I can, you know, sort of control, and it's good. What am I doing here? I skipped one. Oh my god, I'm going totally off. Oh my god, I'm talking too much. But you see, I can control this. I can fix it. I can go back and I can control it. So these little things in crochet that I can control and just do them nicely, they make me happy. Good finishing makes me happy. Swana. Oh, it's looking lovely. Okay, here's the next one. In the next eye. The invisible join really is just, I think it's the best trick. It's my favorite, like in all. I will use it at the end of rows and everything, and it just continuously makes me happy. And that being said about meticulous finishing, that we do our best and give it to people who appreciate it. This is handmade. That is a precious thing. So we just do our best always. And it's okay that you can tell that it's not machine made, because that is a badge of honor. That is what that is. Okay, last one here before the side. Oops, what was was I doing here? Sorry, I'm chatting too much, so I forget what I'm doing. This one was this here. Okay, let us, this is, this one here is supposed to go under. Very good that I'm showing it all and also the mistakes. Okay, and now we're here at the end, and I think I'm gonna do this little trick here with the first stitch here on the end as well before we start doing it in the whipping it up the sides. Sestu bara niður í rismin, ég er að koma, þetta er ekkert mál. Sorry, my friend just came. I'm just going to finish up here, up the sides. Okay, so now we're done with the bottom of it, which is definitely a hard part. And, you know, not perfect, but pretty darn good. And like, in Icelandic we will say fjarskafallegt, which is like, it's pretty from afar. It's definitely very pretty from afar. And we just whip up the sides. Okay. And we had the stitch marker here, and I'm going to be doing it in, why did I take the stitch marker out? Okay, I'm going to do the whipping up the side here. I'm just going to count here, begin with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 here. And then we just whip stitch all the way up the side, as before. Back loop here, front loop here. And it will be very neat and seamless. Let's see how it looks here at the bottom. Yeah, it's all good. This one here is a bit big, but that was just something that is, it's just big. Svona. And this is the easy part, obviously. It's more fiddly to do the bottom side of it. Okay. Yes, this is fitting perfectly because I put in my stitch markers. I hope you did too. Almost at the top, and that means that I am just actually finishing my sweater. It's been so fun to do this, actually, like totally along. I have been crocheting along with you in this crochet along because I've been doing all the videos. So this time I've actually been participating in my own crochet along. And just as you finish your sweaters, I am finishing mine. Whoop whoop! Yeah! 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm just going to do 1 anchor stitch, so that will be 0. Ground 0. Oh my god! And whoopa! We're done! Okay, now you just have to weave in this end. I'm going to say hi to my friend and be happy. But look, it's beautiful! Isn't it? Oh, I must say I did a really, really, really very handsome job. I did practice last night before showing you guys. So that's it. Oh my god, all finished. Wow, I'm happy and a bit sad. Next up is the slouchy blocking, and I'll show you how to do that. Coming right up. Okay, so here we are, ready to do the magic. So what you need obviously is a ready-made whoopa and a broad-shouldered hanger, sort of like a maybe honk. How do you say? Hunky hanger. So this is the 2 things you need, and just some water. So with the wool, if you're doing wool for the first time, this works with acrylics I think as well. I haven't done it myself, but lots of my testers have. With the wool, you don't want to use too hot water. Just tip it like warm. Okay. And so, in theory, you want to wet the whole sweater, but there's a little trick that I do that is not too wet here over the shoulders, because that's where it really, it will be strenuous for the fabric. So I'm going to try and keep my shoulders out of it. So you just wet it completely, just so that it's completely wet. And you can always see it, if you come closer, you can see it on the fabric when it is completely wet. And again, this is just normal tepid water, not warm at all. We don't want warm water for the wool, because that can make it felt. Even though you're careful, it can. So if you use very warm water, this can be problematic. I'm keeping my shoulders, trying to keep my shoulder bits here out of it. All the rest of it I want to be wet completely through and through. Okay. Like so. And just while the wool is wet, you always want to just be sort of respectful of it, because it has such great qualities that when it's wet, it's very easily manipulated. I'm not sure if you can use that word, not when it's not just used to describe untangible things, but it's very easy to mold it, is the word that I'm looking for probably. And so you want to just do it gently and with love. And now I want to wet this bit here, although I do not want to wet the shoulders. So again, just take your time with this. You can wet the shoulders, but I have seen that the most strenuous part is the shoulders, so they will sometimes all open up a bit there. But I want to wet this bit here of all the ribbing and everything. Okay, I have my sink here almost full. So I think I managed to keep my shoulders dry here, and just wet every bit of the rest of the fabric. Now it is very heavy at this part. So I'm going to see, now you see here on the back, I can see with the color that it's not completely wet. So you can always see on the color of the fabric, of the yarn, when it is wet and all the way through. Okay, and this will really, so if you're using, for example, the Álafosslopi for the first time, maybe you thought it was a bit stingy to work with, but then when you wet it and you start to use it, it becomes so soft. This is the magic of the natural fiber and the wool. And like I told you before, we only use wool here because that is what keeps us warm. Okay, so trying to take care with my shoulders here, not to wet them too much, but let's see how this goes. I think I've got everything else now completely wet. Okay, slow TV. That is my shield, badge of honor. Okay, and now we take the water out, and oof, it's heavy now. Oh, and now for another bit, we do not want to, you say ring it. It's like ring it. It's like ringing, but it's not ringing. It's a, do not want to take the wool and ring it like this. Always just sort of squeeze out the excess water, because we want it wet. And we don't want to ring it because, again, the wool will felt easily. You cannot put this under any circumstances in the washing machine. If you do, just at least don't tell me about it. So we just squeeze the excess water out, and we want it to be a bit wet, because for the slouchy blocking, we need the weight of the wet wool for it to work properly. Okay, oops, the other sleeve here. If you're not doing the slouchy blocking and you're just drying it flat, you do this exactly the same, but then you just lie it down flat like you would with a blanket or something. You could check out other videos of mine for that. I want to see here just on the back a bit, just to make that wet too here, so it will be nice and slouchy here and sleek. Okay, I think I've managed to leave just the shoulders out. So it is quite wet now, but that's okay. I will continue squeezing the water out once I hang it up. Now, here comes the broad hanger. And we just do it like this. Whoopa, and you can just see it physically stretching, right? Whoops. Okay. So I love hanging this here up on my towel. What do you call this? Radiator? So it will go quickly. So we are slouchy blocking, but we are still blocking. So now we need to take care to stretch out the ribbing here in the front. You see how much it's grown already. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, and you can just squeeze out the excess water. Obviously, I have a very planned situation going here in my shower for this. Not my first rodeo. And so, you see here now, this is what I'm talking about. On the shoulders, it will be strenuous for the... And it will open up a bit, but it happens more when it's very wet. So that's why I tried not to wet it, but it's okay. It will still look good. All mine were like that, and I'm sure you hadn't noticed it. Or if you had, you've been very polite in not saying anything. Okay, so here at the bottom, I'm just gonna squeeze out everything. Okay, and then I just take care to sort of make it nice. Swanna. Okay, and just act like I'm blocking normally. And the pockets, and I want it to be the same length back and front, like this. Oops, sometimes you have to, like that. And you know, this is just a bit of a, sort of, take your time with this. This is when it's going to be nice. So sometimes I will put something to close it here. I don't have anything at hand. Well, yeah, I do. I will put in a stitch marker here just to put it in place. Here, this part here. Whoop. Just close it up. Am I at the same place? This is the last one here. Just one below. Last one. Yep. Okay, and then you could put these up so that they don't sag. I've never done that actually. I'm being even more meticulous here now than I have been with all the countless whoopas I've made so far. But you could pin up your pocket like this, but I don't know. I think it's nice anyway, so like this. So, see that it's the same length, back and front. Pull maybe a bit here at the bottom. And there we go. That's the slouchy blocking. And then tomorrow, whoop, like I said, it is very easily formed at this point, so you have to take care of what you're doing here. Look, I pulled at this, it's not looking good. I have to, because the way it will dry is the way it will stay. Okay? But as you can see, my little boxy sweater is now taking a new and beautiful, sort of sleek looking look. Okay, and then we just wait for it to dry on the radiator. It will only take overnight. And yeah, there you go. And then just let it dry. Ta-da!